Hey everybody, it's Dan and Angela.
Hi everyone.
And we're here to talk today about the new mega media, whatever the heck it is, audio visual center that the Watchtower is building up in Ramapo. Apparently they're building another one over in Europe. But, we know on one hand the witnesses are trying to say this is wonderful, this is magnificent. Jehovah's providing for us in the middle of a pandemic. He's going online. But us that are outside, we really know what's going on. We know that Jehovah's Witnesses are selling off their property. We know they've been in the property business, into the real estate business, and they're selling off billions of dollars of property. And we know they've sold off a lot of Brooklyn and a lot of the properties, and we know that's what they're doing. But it's interesting. I got to tell you, it's interesting. I have heard a couple of talks on this Ramapo up in New York City, what they're doing up there with this new media center. And it makes me want to vomit, because what they're doing is they're bragging about it. They're bragging about the windows that are going in and the exterior and all the wonderfulness. And it's like, you know how we did, I don't know if you've ever planned for a home, but you're like, oh, I'm going to get this carpet and I'm going to get this flooring and we're going to have these special windows that are, energy efficient. We're going to have this carpet, this certain color carpet, and you're all excited about it, right? Well, we were told, never be excited about this, right? We were told not to be excited. The world's going to end by 75. The world's going to end by, the generation prophecy and overlapping and whatever they make up, right? Well, what's interesting about it is they're so excited about something so far in the future. I think, what is it, 5 years, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
In the future, yeah, they're talking about this big structure, hundreds of acres and but the way they describe it, they're in love with the building part of it, the amenities, the this and the that, and they're explaining it to these people at Ramapo and all this stuff, and it's just all, dreamy and stuff. But the truth of it is, here's what the truth of it is. That media center is a weapon. It is a weapon toward their own people. What do I mean by weapon? Well, it's what's going to keep them in the organization. See, right now, truthfully, thousands of people are leaving the Watchtower. Thousands of people are online saying, get out, get out, get out, get out, right? And so Watchtower's watching this. So what they've got to do is they're going to take the witnesses, right? They're asking them for pretty much everything they've got right now, right? Jehovah knows what you have. Jehovah knows if you've got 2 or 3 houses. Jehovah knows if you've got an extra motorhome. Jehovah knows what money you have. Jehovah knows, and Jehovah loves a cheerful giver. And we're here to talk recently where they even say, it sounded just like the Christendom they told us to stay out of, that Jehovah will be your friend and Jesus will be your friend. If you give to the organization, you'll have a friend forever. That's what Stephen Lett or one of them was saying. No, it wasn't Lett, it was the other one. I don't know who they all are. I don't
Anthony
really.
Moore?
No, it was another one. But anyway, they're shaking the people, right? They're going to have them build. They're going to have them build their own weapon against them. And here's why it's a weapon. See, if you read something out of a book, it has a certain amount of power, right?
Yeah.
If somebody tells you something, right, it has a certain amount of power. But we all know that when you go to a movie theater, right, even though it's on some screen and there's some light projecting through it and you're watching it on the screen, you feel like you're right there, right?
Yeah.
They know that. So the guy that was in the Watchtower, they were talking about the news. And one of the guys that was sitting up the Bible, was talking about the media center, the audio visual center. He said that we're going to make that Bible come to life. Which means brainwash you, right? That's what he said. He goes, full immersion. Like, no more are you sheep going to get away. No more are you going to start thinking for yourself, because we're going to animate it. Now, here's the tricky thing they're doing. They're going to animate it, and you're going to see all the hell breaking loose, like they're talking about in the halls. You better get your to-go bag, They're doing the little demonstration where okay, and they're running around. Get your to-go bag. You weren't prepared with your to-go bag and your fishing pole and head to the hills, right? And so, anyway, what was I saying that for?
Well, the brainwashing that they're trying to do through this visual, because witnesses have always been really, really good at the visual because that solidifies it. As they know, also music also has a different channel that it hits in the brain that solidifies it in there. And they know that. They are smart, and they know that also the visual. So music and the visual. And so when I first went and saw you guys' convention, I think I saw that before I saw a church service possibly, but I was amazed by the effectiveness that they use dramas at those conventions to just burn and sear into your mind, your soul, and your psyche and your fear level of what will happen to you if you dare leave. And so here they are now. They're going to make it full immersion on TV every single day for the children. Because don't you know they're planning on getting the children. They're using the children in the little dramas. They talked about it already a year ago, that they're going to start bringing these people's kids in to do it. And they're going to get them when they're young. And that's their best bet. They're trying to go to mainstream Christianity with this message.
Yeah, and what's interesting is they're so excited. If you would have saw that gentleman, and he might still be on jw.org somewhere if you look for him, but he's so excited about this full immersion, about taking you in and grabbing you and pulling you into the Bible and pulling into all this ideology, all this fear, all this, never leave, never think about going outside, never think, it's all of this stuff. And it sickens me. And it sickens me that they're using the witnesses to pay for it. I mean, right now, they're begging for money like they've never begged for ever before. That's one thing they're doing.
Dan, are the witnesses also building this building?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are they giving a lot of their free labor, or they
it's all going to be the labor. There'll be some they have to pay, but very little.
Well, it bothers me too about their Bibles being practically back to the original Christian. The way that Christians have their Bibles, they've made it almost identical. I've examined it. It's not like you guys' old Bible at all. And I'm like, wow. They really tried hard to kind of, almost out of fear that they're going to get found out, because people are so into studying, they can easily find things out on the internet. So they've literally switched their Bible to be so close to the Christian Bible. It's not even funny. I'm so amazed by this. Me not being a witness. Wow. It's like, what are they doing, Dan?
Yeah, well, what they're doing is, on one hand, in the Kingdom Hall, what they're doing is they're projecting fear, right? In the hall, it's fear, 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 fear. We've saved you from the pandemic. We've done this. Fear, fear, fear. The end's here. The end's here. And on the outside, they're projecting themselves as mainstream Christianity. On the outside, they're talking about Jesus this and Jesus that, and Jesus would love you, and Jesus would. What the hell are you talking about? It was all Jehovah before. Jesus was the mediator, right?
Yeah.
But now it's Jesus, and I thought, why are they doing this? And I thought, ding, they're trying to brand themselves in the public eye as mainstream Christianity.
Which is just what Worldwide Church of God did.
Yes.
The church that I grew up in. Oh my gosh. When they finally got to the end where they realized that they're going down, and they were going down, okay? Financially, they were going down. And so they thought, okay, what are we going to do? And so what they figured out is they went to mainstream Christianity, to all the television stations and everywhere that they were doing Christian TV, and they appealed to them and said, we want to turn back to God. We realize now that the leader is dead, and that this is wrong. And they switched their tune and turned around and went straight to mainstream Christianity. And then they just ditched their beliefs that they brought us up in all those years. Worldwide Church of God
was changed.
Yeah, and
they were into law.
Yeah, we were all over the world like you were. All over the world with Plain Truth Magazine, World Tomorrow. We have a Red Revelation book with all the scary pictures in it like you did. It was just regurgitated Herbert W. Armstrong, Garner Ted Armstrong way. And so here I'm seeing you guys, this Jehovah's Witnesses, they're doing the same thing. They want the support of, in the worldwide, there was Hank Hanegraaff, who's the Bible answer man. That was one of their main go-to persons. I don't know what their little deal is that they worked out with that guy, but it came to seem to everyone to be extremely corrupt. And it seems like that's what's happening.
Yeah, Angela said that the other day, and I said, oh my God, that is what's happening. It's on the outside is the projection that we're just mainstream Christianity. We're Christian faith. We're just like you. We're safe. Just come on in.
And you get their support, too.
And then in the witness side, on the interior side, it's fear, 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 fear. And I can't help but think it's interesting, this whole thing, because 3ABN, which is a Seventh-day Adventist church, has a
television broadcast station.
Yeah, has a television broadcast station, and they've given the people their own antenna.
Yep.
So they could just tune into that satellite.
Their own satellite dish.
And I'm telling you, me and Angela have been there, and those people are watching this stuff, am I wrong, 24/7.
Yeah, we literally were offered a free dish.
Satellite.
Right, so that we would be watching this stuff. It's then guess what? Almost every single one of those people don't watch anything else but that television station all day long. They have everything you can watch.
We visit the neighbors, and
unbelievable.
You gotta watch this show on 3ABN. You know, there are all these old people dressed in old clothes waiting for the world to end.
Old-fashioned music.
Old-fashioned
music.
music.
They love it.
And oh my God, you know, and we're like, wow. And then we go to the next neighbor, and they got on the 3ABN. I said, how do all these people have
all-day programming, Dan. All day and all night programming.
So don't
music
you think?
and concerts and talks and sermons and old sermons and you name it, they got it. Little talks about dysfunction, like it's like Celebrate Recovery. It's not that though. What's called Celebrating Life in Recovery by Sheree Peters program. All these different programs.
You need go nowhere else.
You need go nowhere else.
You got your satellite. You got everything. You don't even have to leave the home. Just leave your paycheck. And boy, do they collect, you know, the Seventh Day,
10%,
10% and
really
other tithings for mission, you know, it goes on and on. Well, witnesses are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
they're copying the same model.
Mm-hmm.
They're becoming televangelists, as you can see when you go on Stephen Lett, you know, and the big world's turning behind them. We're on JW, you know, and all this kind of stuff. But the truth of it is, this media center will mean for the witnesses what they are going to do. And I did it by way of demonstration here. But what they're going to do is they're going to force feed you this. This is what the witnesses, this is their Bible, right?
Dang, you're just brewing that bread there.
Yeah, but I mean, you are going to be force-fed 24/7. You will be force-fed this Bible. They're already coming up with some new stuff on, I don't know, what did I say, Jerusalem and Ezekiel and all that stuff. You remember we were in the Revelation book and the Paradise book in 75,
Malachi.
80, 90, and we were all into this stuff. Well, you are going to be fed. I want to say this to witnesses. This is your meal. This is going to be your meal. Not only are they going to say, get your ass to jw.org, but it's time to eat. And it's time to eat. Well, I'm not hungry. It's time to eat. It's time to eat. This is going to go on day and night and day and night and day and night and day and night. Circuit assemblies, you will eat whether you're hungry or not. Why? Why will you eat this? I want to say this. They're going to feed you this because they got to keep you in. They got to intensify. They're intensifying right now the message, right? Their propaganda that's in here. This says a lot of things. There's a lot of religions in here. There's 200 Christian religions. There's Mormon in here. There's all this stuff in the Bible, right? So they have an ideology. So they are going to feed this to their people. They're going to demand their people eat and eat and eat and eat to keep you in the program.
And not in any other program, because if they keep you on their station, their media thing, you won't go anywhere else. Like the Seventh-day Adventists, you need go nowhere else. Same with Worldwide. We had the World Tomorrow television and the Plain Truth radio. That we had everything that keeps you very occupied with everything they have to feed you with. So they've got to be like everyone else who's been successful and feed you day and night with their programming, because if you go elsewhere, you might turn your eye and see something else. So they're not going to have it. And as you know, they only take out what they want you to know out of this. They don't feed you everything that's in here.
Oh, no.
Only what they want you to see, how they want you to see it, and tell you that they understand how to interpret it. The Worldwide taught us, because you people don't know. It's the leadership that has the Holy Spirit, and leadership are the ones who know how to interpret it. So you follow us and you read it along with the Plain Truth magazine, if you ever do read it, so that you get the interpretation the way we have taught you, and the way that we who have the Holy Spirit know best. And we're at 14 minutes, Dan. We got to wrap up.
So anyway, guys, you don't have to keep eating. We've eaten enough. We've put our life on hold enough. We've listened to governing body enough. They don't have the truth. They've showed it. 100 years of false propaganda, and they still want us to eat. They still think that they're giving us spiritual food at the proper time. How the hell was it spiritual food at the proper time in 1975, the generation prophecy? All of our life, 40 years I ate out of this. 40 years I've been eating. But now they're going to force feed you. You don't have to opt in, guys. Your life is waiting for you. Say no. Say no. I'm not going there anymore. I'm not. No more literature. Yeah, the circle with the line through it.
Yeah, besides, Dan, shoot, their blood doctrines that they did all those years have killed thousands and thousands.
Now you can take this part of blood, not that part of blood.
People have died over the world
can't take
over.
Organ transplants. It's cannibalism. Man. Now it's not cannibalism. It's a conscious. I mean, it goes on and on, guys. Opt out, opt out, opt out. Do not build your own energy weapon. Do not build an energy weapon that takes over your temple.
Amen.
They want to mass program you right now. That's what this whole thing is. This whole mega audio visual center is to mass program you, to keep your ass staved, to keep you chained down, to keep you bound so that you don't live the free life God wanted you to live, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, that's all we want to say. Thank you for listening. And please pass this video on. A lot of people say, can I pass the video on? Can I share it? Share with anything. Once this thing's on YouTube, it's public domain. You can share with anybody. Share it with as many as you can, okay?
Yep.
And have a nice day, guys.
Yes, have a nice day. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.